Hi there, it's Tim from Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company. I'm down in our workshop today. I just want to give a brief overview of the Bushcraft Essentials Bushbox Twig stoves in terms of the best stove for your purposes, which depends on how many people are in your party and also what style of cooking you're doing. So let's dive in. So with Bushbox stoves, or all twig stoves actually, the size that's going to fit your needs best depends on primarily two factors. One is how many people you're traveling with, whether you're a solo hiker or there's a group of 5 of you out on a canoe trip, let's say, and then what style of cooking you're doing, whether you're merely boiling water to rehydrate meals or if you're looking to cook things from scratch, chili, pasta. These are all both factors that will determine what the best size stove is for you. So let's start by running through all the stoves here to get a sense of them. So to start with, I'm going to go with the smallest one, which is the Micro Pocket EDC stove. Now when people come into the store, they often laugh and ask if this is a joke. It's not. While it isn't the stove that I would use on a 10-day solo hiking trip, it is actually a very effective emergency stove. So you can quite easily boil a cup of water with it using sticks, pine cones. We're big fans of Instaflam. With a single Instaflam, you can get a cup of water to boil. It's also very useful in the winter for melting snow. So I actually keep one of these in my vehicle so that if I am caught out in my vehicle during the winter, I've got a means either with an Instaflam or even with a tea light of melting snow into water, or during the summer for purifying water, and then you can even use the tea light inside of it for some warmth in the winter too if you want. It packs flat and then has a handy hole to put a carabiner through, so you can throw that on the outside of your pack or clip it into anything that you need, so you've always got an emergency stove at the ready. Next size up is the Ultralight pocket stove. So clocking it in a mere 60 grams is extremely lightweight. This disassembles and packs flat. The height of the packed stove is 1.5 millimeters. So very small and lightweight, can easily go in your pants pocket or on one of your pack pockets. I'd say that that's best suited for solo hikers or maybe a group of 2 people. What the thing you got to keep in mind with these is the size of the burn chamber and what you're trying to cook with it. So for things like a cup of water, no problem. If canteen cooking is more your style, cooking with the cup of the canteen or boiling water in the canteen itself, a stove this size will do that task, but it's not really amenable for larger pots. So for instance, I have here a 1-liter Trangia pot. 1-liter Trangia pot, no problem on that stove. If you go to a larger 1.75-liter pot, now you're starting to kind of exceed the capacity of that stove. You may be able to get this to boil if you had this full of water, but maintaining a boil is going to be tricky on a stove that size. So something like this is more for, like I say, boiling water, for tea or just purifying the water, or for making rehydrated meals for 1 or 2 people, but that's about it. You're not going to do a lot of cooking of pasta and stuff on a stove this size. Next up, we've got the Bushbox stove, the original Bushbox stove that started it all. So this also disassembles and packs flat. It's similar in size to the Ultralight stove. So in terms of its capacity, again, a 1-liter pot, not a problem. 1.75-liter pot, that's going to be tricky to keep a sustained boil. Anything larger is probably not going to work. So much like the Ultralight, this is good for 1 to 2 people for boiling water, rehydrating meals. If you do want to start cooking meals as opposed to rehydrating, then our next stove, the Bushbox LF, is probably one that you should consider. So this comes in 2 variations, stainless steel and titanium. The titanium offers about a 60% weight savings, so fairly significant. So if weight is an issue for you, then that's definitely one to look at. If you're looking to actually cook meals, this is kind of the first stove in terms of size that allows you to do that. So a 1-liter pot, no problem. 1.75-liter pot, no problem. Something larger like this 4.5-liter billy pot, possible, but again, the size of the burn chamber, it's going to be hard to keep a boil going on that vessel just because it is so large. So I'd say it's doable, but someone's going to have to keep on that, keep feeding it pretty consistently to keep that temperature high. So doable, but if you're looking to cook in something this size, you should probably size up on your stove. So the LF's good for, I'd say, a group of 1 to 3 people. looking to do meals, cooked meals, as well as boiling or rehydrating meals. So if you do want to go to larger cooking vessels or you have a larger group of people, then definitely the Bushbox LX is the way you should go. So again, two variants, stainless steel or titanium. Stainless steel clocks in at 800 grams for weight, which is still lighter than its competitors. The titanium, about a 60% weight savings again, so I think you're in around 490 grams on that one. So again, if weight is an issue, then titanium's a good way to go. Now the XL will cook large cooking vessels. This 4.5 liter billy, which can easily cook, a chili for 5 people in there. And the XL, that's not a problem to use it with that. All of these stoves, except for the EDC stove, can all be used in conjunction with a Trangia alcohol burner as well. So if you've been out, it's been raining a lot, or you're just tired that day, you can't be bothered looking for fuel, you can always fire up with use of a second set of trivets the alcohol stove and then cook on that. And this, like I say, will fit in all these stoves except for the EDC stove. So that kind of gives an overview of these. So just to run through it one last time, for larger groups, 2 to 5 people, let's say, where you want to cook meals, meaning make fry bread, make pasta, make chili, fry up a catch that you have, Bushbox XL, definitely the way to go. Anything else would, I think, lead to more frustration than it's worth, trying to keep the temperature up to cook in larger cooking vessels. If you have a smaller group of 1 to 3 people, again, looking to do a mix of cooking and rehydrating meals, making tea, etc., the Bushbox LF, a good way to go. If you're 1 to 2 people, looking merely to boil water or do rehydrated meals, Bushbox Stove is a very capable stove for that. If you're looking to save weight and space with that same configuration, 1 or 2 people, mostly boiling. Now you could, fry up a fish if you were fishing. You could fry up a fish on these, but keeping temperature at boiling temperature in larger vessels is going to be very tricky with these 2 stoves. So 1 to 2 people, if you need to go ultralight, ultralight's good for 1 or 2 people. The EDC stove is a good emergency stove. Should mention also that the LF and the XL are integrated stoves, meaning all the parts are connected, except for the trivets. So very quick and easy to set up. It all folds down. Also, the hinges on these are different than its competitor stoves. Other stoves have closed piano-style hinges, which if you're boiling pasta and your pasta water slops into, or you're frying and your oil slops into, it can gum up those hinges sometimes. So this open style hinge negates that problem and actually gives you a weight savings on the stove. I hope that's maybe shed some light on sizes and best uses for the style of cooking and group you're with. Please do feel free to leave comments and give us a shout at CanadianOutdoorEquipment.com. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.